Welcome to the Books and Martinis podcast.
I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy.
And this is your go-to book podcast,
where we lift, empower, and spotlight authors.
Grab your martini and follow along.
And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Welcome, everybody, and cheers to everybody. And a huge welcome to our most popular author.
Four-timers club.
A fourth time. No other author has actually published 6 books between last June and today. And so that is amazing. So
and mentioned us in the last book, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. So cheers to that.
We are your fan.
Cheers.
We are your fan, Chris.
I'm a fan of you all too.
Salud.
Thank you. Salud.
So guys,
I love it.
Obviously, Mercy said Chris is with us. So in your ears, on the screen, Chris Walters, our Four-Timers Club, and he's back for his latest book, Snow Ordinary Love. And we have advanced reader copies in our hands, which we love. Makes us feel special.
Yes. And if you can't see what we're holding,
yes,
this is like the hottest green ogre I've ever seen.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. I love this cover, Chris. I don't know where you get so many ideas, and the visuals of this is just amazing. So I love it.
Huh?
I've got a good cover designer.
Yes.
Clearly you do. I have to say
I was like, Chris,
I
was like, Mona's so hot. And he's like, oh, Joe's hot too. And I was like, no, Mona's hot. She's hotter. She looks so good with her tats. Oh my God.
Yes.
Really
yes.
good.
So this is your 6th book. We're so excited that you're sharing it with us. Snow Ordinary Love. So yes, they're stuck. So we're not gonna no spoilers. I'm sorry.
No spoilers, even though we're eager.
Away,
yeah. So why don't we remind everyone who you are? So if this is the first time you're tuning into our podcast, first time hearing about Chris Walters, why don't you tell our listeners about yourself?
I live in Portland, Oregon. Outside of writing romance, I also announce roller derby and other sports for the high school that I work at. And I'm involved in my union. So
you stay busy.
Yes,
you
I
stay
am very
busy.
Yeah.
So as a writer, as an author of 6 books, please tell us and tell our listeners that are trying to write one book, how in the world you've managed to write 6 books. What does the writing process look like for you, Chris?
So I run the kitchen here at my high school. And so it's a job with a lot of routine. So my mind is sort of working creatively all day, and I'm not in front of a screen all day. So when I get home, I start writing. So I'm not screen dead when I get home, like a lot of folks.
Like the rest of us.
Exactly. So that gives me sort of like space mentally, and writing is kind of a release for me. So that's super helpful. So, I can get home and I can pound out, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of writing. And it's a great mental release for me. So that's been really helpful in terms of being able to write a lot.
That is so interesting. We obviously, how many authors we interview. And funny enough, most say that early in the morning is where they find their creative space and the creative juices in their brains brewing. But some say that they write late at night. We haven't had somebody, not that I can recall, Priya, that actually writes right after work. Like they get home from work and they're ready to hit the screen. Where do you feel you're finding so much help me out here, Priya.
Inspiration.
The word I'm looking, inspiration for characters and stories and
life in general. I mean, there's all sorts of. I pull from pretty much everywhere. Um, from the people I meet, from people I talk to, conversations I have with other authors, all sorts of places, just random things, from other media. There's all sorts of ways to find inspiration.
And how long did your first book take you beginning to end, as opposed to your last book?
Oh, that's a great question. Like, how did it improve?
Right. How are you finding that whole process is changing for you? Like, completing one book to the first to the last.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely slowing down. The first book was definitely, I think, a rushed process. I put it out in about 5-ish months. At this point, I'm getting closer to more about a year to put them out. But I'm sort of constantly churning. I've got multiple projects kind of going. I'll finish writing, let it sort of sit in my brain while I'm working on something else, and then go back and do rewrites and edits at a later point after I've let it kind of sit in my brain for a while.
Chris, when you say that you have different points, are you talking about you're working on multiple stories or books at a time?
Yeah. So right now, I'm working on I'm working on a Medusa and Perseus novel set in modern day Portland. But I've
no, I was about to say all these stories are set in Portland. I love that.
Yeah,
home base.
Just about everything I do is set in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got another book that I've already completed that once I've finished with this, I'm going to go and do some rewrites on that. And I hope to have that out in probably around January.
Wow. Do you get mixed up if you're doing multiple books at the same time? Like, I would totally get mixed up.
Characters and storylines.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody's in their lane.
Yeah, everybody's in their lane.
I love that.
That is fantastic. Have you had the same publisher or the same system to publish your books from the first one to the last one?
I mean, I'm all self-published, so yeah, it's all
right.
It's all
so nothing's changed. It's really my question. From beginning to now, you're still using the same, or as an author, have you changed? Have you learned something new? Anything you want to share with us?
I've moved to having my partner doing all of my editing. She used to be a magazine editor, and so now she's doing all of my editing, which is kind of actually a process. It is a lot cheaper, yes.
I'm sure.
Being that I'm self-published is super handy, but also she's really good, and it's also kind of a fun creative process to work with her.
That's excellent.
Yeah. Do you ping ideas off of her about your stories?
Yeah. And as she's going through, she sees things and she'll flag it and she'll say, this isn't really working for me, and we'll go back and we can really talk it out and sort of have that deeper conversation and really go over it in a way that I can't do with someone else on an outside editor. So it's been very helpful. So she's been doing the last couple books, and that's been
fantastic.
Really, really great for my process.
Do you find that that's helping you with the creative part of it as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that's great for an author to know if they can find a partner that's experienced as an editor.
Yeah, you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, marry an editor.
Wonderful. Marry, that'll work. I'm telling you. That's fantastic.
Let's talk about the book, No Ordinary Love, and Mona and Joel. So I had the pleasure, guys, of being one of Chris's alpha readers for this book. I had so much fun reading it. And it's hot, it's spicy, it's fun,
right
it's
up your
funny. And it's fantasy, because guess what? Mona's green. She's an ogre. And I love it. I so love it. Why don't you tell us more about this book, where you got the inspiration for the characters? I mean, you were talking about having inspiration from real life for your stories, but Mona's a bouncer in a strip joint. So tell us about
No spoilers. No spoilers.
that.
So, I mean, Portland does have more strip clubs per capita than any city in the United States. So,
What?
No way.
No way.
yeah,
Okay.
What?
yeah,
Facts, right? Okay.
yeah. So there is that. But so yeah, there's a lot of different things that went into the inspiration for this, from 80s movies to the US, just society in general. But sort of a couple of the big kind of drivers for this were, I've been to a couple romance book conventions, and sort of happened into talking with a number of authors who write in the monster romance subgenre.
Mhm.
And I noticed certain, call them themes, within that subgenre. And
Ogres.
ogres, trolls, orcs, what have you.
Wait. I was saying ogre. Wait, she's an orc.
Mona's an orc. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mona's an orc.
You didn't correct
Oh,
me. I was saying ogre the whole time.
I
I
did
was getting
too.
to it. But so yeah, so there's, but usually the monster's a guy, dainty female, what have you. So I had the idea of writing and sort of flipping this. But also a few years ago, I read a book called Caste by Isabel Wilkerson,
Mhm.
which was a
Oh,
very,
wait. Yes, I've heard of that. Yeah, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
phenomenal book. It looks at, it's a sociological look at the caste stratification of India, the United States, and Nazi Germany.
Mhm.
Um, and it really, it's a very eye-opening book in a lot of ways. And so I had the idea of bringing Mona's story into sort of the caste system within the United States. And that kind of goes back into 80s movies. There's a movie in the 80s called The Philadelphia Experiment, and about the US Navy mucking around with technology to hide ships and creating like a dimensional warp that sends a ship traveling through space and time. And so, back in the 80s, watch all these things on VHS, and as a kid, that stuck with me. And so I had a thought of, what if? So that sort of became like the central premise of, back in the 80s during the Star Wars program. The US mucks around with technology, opens these gates to another world. Elves and orcs pour into our world from their world, and elves being thin, blonde, and pretty, they sort of immediately slot into our caste system and get citizenship, and orcs being green and toothy and not pretty do not. And they sort of end up at the bottom of our caste system in the United States and never really get citizenship, and just sort of end up as kind of like permanent refugee outcasts. And so that, fast forward to where we are today, and that's where Mona is kind of like in a non-citizenship status. And so, she starts the book, she, as a bouncer, she gets fired. And that's, so I wanted her sort of like that sort of.
She was discriminated against, essentially.
Yeah.
The whole book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that sociological commentary within as part of the theme of the book. but that also gives that extra tension between her and Joel, but also opportunities for Joel to like get some additional character growth, because he needs to like learn some things. So I that was, and I'm writing this last fall. So there was a lot of opportunity there, I think, in terms of writing that book to really,
A lot of places to grab from for inspiration.
yeah, but there was lots of inspiration there. So I enjoyed writing this book. I felt that it was a very special book. I of the 6 books I've written, this one I kind of like it more than all the other ones. Don't tell them.
Okay.
Oh, wait. And I have a couple here in front of me, and so does Mercy. In the slot was the last one. And before that was Send Me an Angel. And then God is Good. So if you go back in our podcast listings, you'll see episodes for each of those books that I just mentioned. And of course, there's 2 more, which I feel like we totally blipped.
Yeah,
Mercy and I were
so
trying to figure out which books, 6 books in
Yeah.
one
I mean,
year.
I only have 2.
so yeah, there's No One Like You, which was my debut novel, which actually features Megan, who's Brad's wife from Send Me an Angel,
Yeah.
and Make It Real, which was another standalone sequel to No One Like You, and is also related to Send Me an Angel.
Oh, okay. I see. So those are the other titles we
Love
were missing.
that.
We're trying to figure it out. It
Yep.
was so hard. And with No Ordinary Love, guys. So this is definitely a different take. And to like sum it up, this is a forced proximity fantasy novel.
Mhm.
So forced proximity is a trope, and it's usually fun and juicy. And Mona and Joel are stuck together in a space. I won't tell you too much,
No,
but
no spoiling.
yeah, that's where, Chris was talking about, like, Joel has to learn also, right? There's a lot of stuff that's uncovered with them being
Yeah.
together, and a lot of things they
Because they
talked
also
about.
have a path too,
Yes, they
Right.
also have a past together. And it's also spicy because I love
Right.
spice.
They are stuck in between 4 walls, as they say.
Yeah.
Basically. Uh
And you can guess
How,
how many beds there are, of course.
sure, sure. Or one hot tub. I know
what?
there's some hot tub stuff going on in there.
Priya, say no more. Say no more. All we're gonna say is where they can find the book, but we're not gonna spoil it for them. We're
Okay,
just
okay.
telling
I'll
them it's
stop talking.
amazing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, so between your first book and this book, what has been your biggest take? Like, what have you grown the most at? Like, what have you learned?
I
What
feel
do
like
you
I've
know
learned
about?
a lot in terms of I feel like I've gotten better in terms of like the pacing and the pacing and really delving more into the reactions of the characters. Um, I've always tried to focus on the emotions and the emotional intelligence of the characters. Um, I always want human characters, even when they're not. Um, but yeah, I feel like I've gotten better with delving into their reactions and their and
The character development, essentially.
yeah, yeah. Um, and to really making them more lifelike.
Mhm.
And now that you're a 6 book author, what advice do you have for other authors?
Get out there and
Not
write.
just right.
And and be willing to take risks. And at some point, cut yourself off and publish it.
Mm.
Mm.
Cut
I
yourself
mean,
off. Like, what do you mean by that?
because the difference, sort of the joke that I've heard is the difference between an author and a writer is that an author actually stops writing and publishes.
Because you could stay
And
stuck on a book forever. Every single time you
yeah,
see it, something's changed. Your perception
yeah,
has changed. Your state of mind has changed.
Yep.
Something's changed. So every day is a different day for us. So we
yeah.
change the book every day. So I've been told that many times. Yeah, you have to stop at some point.
To be completely honest, I could be tinkering on any of the books I published still to this day.
Sure.
But at some point you have to stop and put it out there.
Right. Right.
That's very true. Instead of like a 10-year journey, you'd be like Chris
Absolutely.
and publish 6 in 1 year.
Well, close to 2 at this point, but yeah, getting there.
And all of your books as of now have been standalones. I know the characters have kind of gone from one book to another and they kind of move around, but the books themselves have been standalones. Are you planning to write any series in the future or trilogies,
So
duos?
no one like you, Make It Real, and Send Me an Angel are technically interrelated. They're standalone, but they are all 3 interrelated. Megan and
Okay.
Tasha appear in all 3 books. I mean, they're the main
Right.
characters in No One Like You, but they appear in all 3 books. So those 3 are interrelated, but the other 3 are
On their own,
standalones.
basically. Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on sequels to In the Slot and God is Good, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I just want to say I gave In the Slot. You know, I have a trans child. I gave In the Slot to my trans child. I'm like,
wow.
here, you're gonna love this. So they've been reading it. They just literally started it last week. So
That's
very
wonderful.
cool.
I'll let you know what they think when they finish it.
I hope they like it.
I hope so too. It was fun. A really fun
Yeah.
book. So what is the biggest lesson that you have learned, in this whole process, the whole year you've been putting out these books? Is there
This whole
something,
journey.
yeah, like what is the biggest lesson you've learned, like a mistake that you've learned from?
That's a good question.
Did I stump you?
Don't get too hopeful.
Oh, don't get too hopeful. But what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a big world out there. There's a lot of other authors out there. It's
Yeah.
You've got just be realistic. Don't expect to like own your own yacht anytime soon. Just enjoy the process. Put something creative out in the world and enjoy the fact that you're doing that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could still be hopeful, sort of, but
Mhm.
realistic.
Yes.
What you're saying is to be
Realistic.
realistic.
Stay
Yeah.
grounded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is your favorite book
Of the ones I've written,
of the 6?
I'm gonna say Snow Ordinary Love. I mean, God is Good is always it sort of has been my favorite so far, but
That's
I
a
think
classic,
Snow Ordinary
right?
Love, might be my new favorite. It's
Oh,
just, yeah,
okay.
I
So if
definitely
we have
think that this, having read several of your books already, like this is definitely a different twist. And of course it has to do with the orc, Mona being an orc. And I think I've enjoyed this more than the other books as well. I mean, they were all good, but like I've enjoyed this the most.
yeah. I I think it was after the last podcast when we were talking, and you're like, "Ooh, this sounds interesting." Like I sent you my rough draft.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually send anybody my rough draft, and I sent you my rough draft.
That's because we're not anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Mhm.
buddies
So,
now.
like you got to see like the first version of it.
That's awesome.
So,
I might have to reciprocate in the future and like share one of my rough drafts with you. We'll see. I don't know. That's scary. So I don't even know how you did that. Well, I know how you did that. You were brave by sharing
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
and yes,
And
and he has so many books too.
True.
well, also, I trust you.
Aw,
Like I feel like, we've developed a rapport over this time. So,
Absolutely.
we have. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel honored that you trusted me
yeah.
to
Aw.
look at your book,
But yeah,
baby.
I I felt good about it. So,
Aw,
I was willing to send you that rough draft.
so sweet. Any book tours in the future planned? Any
No.
thoughts?
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
I don't sell enough copies to warrant a book tour, but I go to local markets when I can, and
Okay.
so if you're in the Portland area, uh,
Oh, you know I'm going to contact you. Absolutely. I think it's so faithful of you and so beautiful that you keep everybody and everything happening in Portland. But not only that, in the cover, her shirt says Portland.
Oh,
oh
you
yeah,
know what? I didn't even see
Yes.
that. How did
The
I
first
not
thing I
see
saw,
that?
yeah. So I think that's just fantastic.
I'm
Yep,
so mad I
I
didn't
love
see
it.
that.
yeah.
Yep.
With one exception, all my books are set in Portland. They all have cats,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I see that cat. The
Oh.
green eyes.
And they're all character.
but
Well, this one was a character too. Like
yeah,
straight up.
Hmm. I love it.
but yeah,
I love it.
there's a yeah, there's a lot going on in this one, and I ended up the whole head shaving thing ended up being sort of a thing for me too.
Oh,
I
really?
see.
Well,
You
Because
felt that.
tell us more about that. What does that mean?
so the characters I write, because let's face it, most guys don't have chiseled abs and perfect heads of hair.
Mm.
So, my characters tend to be, you know,
Realistic.
regular people,
Yeah. Hmm.
with the exception of Ayana, who is a literal goddess in
Hmm.
Goddess Good. Um, so, Joel is, he's a working class guy, and like most guys in his early 30s, his hair's starting to go, and he's got a bit of a comb over going. And so they're in this cabin, which he had decorated with antiques of various sorts. And so one of those antiques was an old straight blade razor. And Mona at some point is just like, "All right, that comb over is just not doing it for me."
Let's just get rid of those little hairs right there.
And so she basically says, "Do you trust me?"
Mhm.
And Joel says, "Yeah." And so I actually went to my barber and said, "If you're going to shave someone's head, how would you do it?" And she walked me through the process of shaving someone's head. And then as I'm in the editing process and I'm working on going through all that, and I'm looking in the mirror and looking at my widow's peak, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this. So I go to my barber again. I'm like, let's do it. So my barber goes and, she goes through like the whole process and shaves my head.
Mhm.
And so like I use that to write to further like define that scene where Mona shaves Joel's head in the book. Um
And it's like marketing. You're like
Well,
yeah.
he
Joel.
felt it. Yes, you actually
Yeah.
felt it,
So
so you knew what Joel was feeling.
yeah. So but I kind of like made it into like a bit of a spicy scene too, because she's
Why not?
exactly. But yeah, because let's face it, we're not
Mm.
all rocking six pack abs and Fabio hair. So, she she shaved his head, and so now he's, on the cover there rocking the shaved head. But
Yes,
yeah,
he is.
but yeah, so I decided to keep the chrome dome.
Love it. Love it.
That's
Well,
great.
we are so excited for you, Chris. We're so excited that you are on another journey
Yes.
with a new book, Snow Ordinary Love. And you guys, it's coming out. So we are recording this episode the month that it's being released, but this episode is coming out next month. So
Right.
by the time you hear this, it will be out. It will be available for you to purchase. Chris, where can they find it?
So, I mean, obviously it's available at the Evil Empire because, everything.
Amazon.
But I encourage you to go to your local independent bookstore and special order it there. Go to bookshop.org, get it there. But, if all else fails, Amazon has it. But yeah, shop local if you can. Support
Always.
independent bookstores.
Yeah.
Always.
And
And
of
we'll
course,
go ahead and add that information in our
Yep.
comments.
and reach
Yeah.
out to Chris online too on Instagram. Follow him,
Yeah.
support him. And you could, if you don't want to order from the Evil Empire and you don't have those local bookstores near you, reach out to him online. Maybe you can get a
Absolutely.
signed copy. Because we
And
like
you'll
our
love
signed
it.
copies.
I would be happy to
We'll
send
love it.
anybody a signed copy.
Love it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
We look forward to seeing you again and again and again. Just keep writing and keep sharing.
Yeah, we're excited for you.
Keep us updated with the books because, hello, I have complaints here. I only have 2 and there's 6. I'm like, what? So
Yeah.
no, that cannot happen. Thank you.
Yep. And congratulations. It's a big deal.
All right, well, thank you all.
Congrats.
All
That's
right.
amazing.
Cheers. Let's
Thank
do
you,
one
Chris.
last cheers.
One last cheers.
Thank you for being our guest again.
Yes, to the
Thank you all for having
16th
me once
published
again.
and to
Yeah.
the 7th coming out soon.
Exactly. In January.
No pressure.
So I guess we're going to have you
Yeah.
back January, February. We're going to interview you again.
Yep.
All right,
Stay
wait,
in touch.
I'm up for it.
Yep.
I love
My
it.
time. Love.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Like, share,
Bye.
follow, subscribe. Bye, everyone.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.